Again, a wonderful and crazy day for Nifty and Bank Nifty options buyers. I've made almost 44,685 even after covering a loss about negative 4,607, which is great. Comparing to yesterday, this is even better. So market has been acting exactly as I have mentioned in the previous video, because it has taken the zone which I have marked between 43,500 and 43,700, and today market opened a gap up, and from there it started to move up, and again it came down to the day's low and is now reversing and going up. So let's jump into the video and see what exactly the levels which will be respected in the coming days or maybe a week if the level of 43,500 is not broken in the next 2 market days. So yeah, and also I would like to say that we are not SEBI-registered analysts, and all the levels that has been shared here can be taken as a reference, and it is completely for educational purposes. So yeah, thanks for watching. So I was unable to do any of the live positions capturing because I was kind of in a different mood today. And if you look at my orders here, at 9:31 I have opened a position at 44,000 CE with 900 quantities of 18th expiry, that is today's expiry, and I had to book a loss of about 4,600 in that particular trade, because if you look here you can see that it moved up and it was in profit initially, but I had to get out of the trade because I was expecting a reversal from this area, because this has come under the consolidation zone when market touched its all-time high 2 days back. So I was not sure about the upward movement because it was consolidating at that level, and also you can see that many wicks has been left on the top. So I got out of the position immediately in a minute. You can see here 9:31.18 I have entered into the trade, and 32.40 I have gotten out of the trade because of the downward movement that I was expecting. So next trade, since my view changed all of a sudden, because I was seeing this 2 weeks all of a sudden, these 2 weeks all of a sudden, and I was sure about the downward movement because the body law of this candle has been broken by the candle at 9:40. So I entered into the trade right before that, and the pivot point was also crossed at one point around 9:35. So I was sure about this trade, and that's why I have entered into this position. And also I have averaged the position, not average, I have taken another 500 quantities at 3:30 to around 9:45. If you can see here at 9:45 this is the candle of 9:45. I have taken another 500 quantities right at that point, is because it has taken a resistance at 44,000 to come down further to touch at a lower point. So I was expecting a downward movement till 43,918, and that's when I have booked my position. So the time that I have gotten out of my trade is at 10:03. So around 10:03, that is this candle. So around this candle, since I was expecting a reversal from 43,900, because there has been a good put-away build-up at 43,900, but what we can see is Bank Nifty closed below 43,900 to touch 43,850. Again, I was sure that this movement was going to happen, but again I got out of the position because I was expecting a sudden reversal. So I was expecting the 10-5 candle to run up and cross over 44,000, which didn't happen unfortunately. But again, which is well and good for traders who are in their PE and who are not that fast enough. So market took a low at around 43,850 plus, which is also considered as the day's low. I mean, the first 5-minute candle of 18th May took a stop at around 43,844, which is 9 points lower than the second low that has been made. So we can see that from this point market has moved up, and and now it is trying to take a resistance at the day's high. I mean, the body of the candles which has touched the day's high. So we can see that market moved up, then down, then up, and now this is a rising 3 pattern. We would say that it's a rising 2 pattern because we can see only 2 red candles at this point. Sorry, that's why we call it a rising 3, right? So this was acting as a rising 2, and clearly market was moving up from that level. Now what we can see here is not exactly an evening star pattern, but again we can expect a small movement from this point, and also if this candle is not being broken, then we can expect a further upward movement from this level. So the next, so on the second half of the day, that is on the second half of 18th May also, we can keep the day high as resistance, and if that is broken, then 44,096, or else this is the zone that we can expect, where this zone will be filled and there can be a downward movement from this zone. If this zone is broken, which I don't feel is not going to happen, but it can happen also, this will be the upward movement, which means it is going to cross above the all-time high, which is out of the question, right? Again, and yesterday, looking at yesterday's market, we can see that I said market is going to come down to 43,500, which has happened in yesterday's intraday itself, because it came down, it tried to move up from 43,783, but again it took a resistance at the trend line and it started moving down to touch 43,445, and from there it started recovering and it pulled off the whole zone and it closed around 43,750. So now there is another question that is still left, which means if market is reversing from any of these points, then there are high chances that market will fill the gap which has been made between yesterday and today. So if that happens, then 43,800 should be your strike price. That means you will have to take in any of the strikes which comes under the slab, that means which comes under the 500 points, which can be carried forward overnight, so that if it is carried forward overnight, we could see a downward movement till 43,745. If that is also broken, then we'll see a further downward movement, and the levels has been discussed in the previous video, which I'll be giving in the I button. You can go and check the video to get the levels there. And also I have mentioned about the level which can be tested in the coming days in a previous video, which is much below 43,000. So you can see the video and get to know that, because it will be very lengthy if I'm explaining it right now. So today these are the cases for the day. So now looking into the trades that I have taken. So again at 9:34, when my view changed, I have taken 44,000 PE at 322.3, 900 quantities, and I have booked almost 49,000 from that. And now my overall PNL comes at 44,685, because I have made an initial loss of about 4,600 rupees. So here I have averaged the position with 500 quantities at 3, not averaging, I have added 500 quantities at 332, and I have booked 900 quantities at 360, and the next 500 at 363, which has made me 44,000 rupees. And I was sure about the further downward, I was skeptical about the downward movement, but again it made a good reversal and was going up from there. Now that evening star pattern is out of question. Let's see if Banknifty takes a resistance at day high. If that is broken, then 44,100, then 44,125, that's broken, 44,153, and then breaking all-time high or reversing from that level. So this is the view for the day. You can use all these levels I have mentioned for tomorrow as well, because market is going to come down tomorrow if the all-time high is not broken. So this is the views for the day. Please, again we are telling you, we are not semi-registered analysts, and these are completely for educational purposes. You can take these levels as a reference to the trades that you take. So please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. We'll be coming up with this complete stock market learning series in next 2 months, so that you will have an idea about how to trade from absolute basics. So yes, thanks again for watching. Bye.